The night before he died, Jesus said something most churches skip past. My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow, to the point of death. Not concerned, not solemn, overwhelmed, to the point of death. Then Luke, a physician, records something even stranger. His sweat became like drops of blood falling to the ground. For centuries, that line got read as poetic exaggeration. It isn't. It's a documented medical phenomenon. Hematohidrosis. Capillaries under the skin rupturing under extreme psychological distress. It's rare, it's real. And it's been recorded in modern clinical cases of acute panic and trauma.
If you've ever had a panic attack, or sat with depression heavy enough that getting up felt impossible, this is the same territory. Jesus was there, fully, not performing peace, in genuine crisis. So if the most spiritually secure person in history hit a breaking point that severe, the question isn't, why don't I have his peace? It's, what did he actually do in that state? Because that's the part that's usable. Stay to the end. Part 4 is the exact sequence, and it's shorter than you'd think.
Here's what was likely happening in Jesus' body that night, based on what we now know about acute stress response. Cortisol and adrenaline flood the system. Heart rate spikes. Blood vessels near the skin can constrict and rupture under extreme cases, which is the mechanism behind hematohidrosis. The prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for reasoning and perspective, goes quiet, while the amygdala, the threat detection center, takes over. This is also functionally what chronic anxiety and depression do to the body over time, not just in a single acute night, but repeated over weeks and months. Elevated cortisol, disrupted sleep, a brain stuck scanning for threat instead of reasoning through it. Isolation seeking, pulling away from the people who could help. Jesus experienced the acute version of that exact pattern. And critically, he didn't hide it or push through silently. Look at what he did in the next 10 minutes of that account, because it directly contradicts how most of us are taught to handle a breaking point. First, he didn't isolate himself completely. He brought Peter, James, and John with him and asked them directly to stay and be present with him. Not to fix it, just to not be alone in it. Modern research on social support during acute stress consistently shows the same effect Scripture describes here. Presence alone, without advice or solutions, measurably reduces cortisol response and buffers the intensity of the crisis. Second, he said the actual unfiltered thing out loud. Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken from me. No spiritual performance. He asked for the suffering to stop. That's radical honesty, not weakness. And it maps directly onto what clinical research calls affect labeling. Naming a distressing emotion out loud, specifically, has been shown to lower amygdala activity almost immediately. Suppression does the opposite. It keeps the stress response elevated longer. Third, he reframed toward something larger than the immediate feeling, without denying the feeling first. Yet not as I will, but as you will. Notice the order. He didn't skip to acceptance. He voiced the full weight of what he wanted, and only then reframed. This sequence. Acknowledge, voice it honestly, then reframe, is close to what's used in modern cognitive reappraisal, one of the more evidence-supported approaches for reducing the intensity of anxious and depressive spirals. Presence, honesty, reframe. In that order. Not skipping to the reframe, which is the mistake most well-meaning advice makes.
If you're in something heavy right now, here's the sequence. In order. Don't skip to step 3. 1. Don't process it completely alone. Text one person. Ask them to just be present, not to fix anything. That single step changes your body's stress load, not just your mood. 2. Say the actual thing, specifically, out loud or written. Not, I'm stressed. The real sentence. I don't think I can keep doing this. Whatever it is, naming it precisely is the mechanism, not the vague version.
3. Only after that reframe. Not by force. Ask what's true beyond the immediate feeling. Scripture's language for this is surrender. Psychology's language is reappraisal. Same order, same effect. This is also why the daily framework in the Jesus Diet 30-day biblical meal plan pairs physical rhythm, sleep, food, movement, with this same emotional structure. Your nervous system doesn't separate what you eat from what you feel. Links below if you want the full daily system. He didn't get the storm to stop that night. He got the strength to stand up and walk toward it anyway. If that's where you are right now, that's the part that was always available to you too.